guys, how you doing? Hope the Christmas was good for you guys, and hope the upcoming year is going to be good for you guys. You have a prosperous and happy new year. This video is part 1 of 2 for New Year's resolutions I would put forth for wargaming to consider that I think would be nice. And this first part of this video here is going to be a request to wargaming to stop promoting, rewarding selfish gameplay. If your game, both of these games, World of Tanks, World of Warships, purport to be team games. They sell them as team games, right? You're part of a team facing off against an enemy team in a variety of different, slightly different game modes. And so make it then about team performance, right? And I think one of the biggest detriments to that is how over the years through CCs and wargaming itself, it's even an update that happened not long ago where you're able to track more easily without, going into the stats part and looking up each tank. Your progress in regards to getting stars on the barrel. And if you've seen my channel before, I think stars on the barrel are meaningless, in the game. They don't, represent what they represented in wartime kills. It just represents, to me, it represents just a selfish camping playstyle. It represents a guy who couldn't care less about winning the game. Working on stars on his barrel, he's trying to get damage, whether that damage. Look at that. Speaking of, this is just a hopeless game. This match I'm in, there's 4 guys on this team. This camping Canadian at the back and the light tank doing nothing from back there to help his teammates. And there's 4 of those kind of guys on this team. Well, you get, almost, sorry, almost 1/3 of your team. Here's another one sitting at the back there, hiding. When you get that many guys on your team doing absolutely nothing, well, guess what your chances of winning that match are? They're 0. So, either stop promoting this game as a team game, because it isn't. Guys don't play it like a team game. They play it like it's just a selfish, just totally selfish game. Guys aren't willing to commit. Not enough guys, I should say, are willing to commit to winning, to do the things necessary, and for instance in this encounter battle, to what's necessary in order to win the game. And the enemy team has even one more guy on their team who is committed to winning, who does know what the game mode is, and does know what he has to do in order to try and give his team the best chance of winning that game. That if that enemy team has even one more guy than you do, they're gonna win. Sorry. I would like to see Wargaming stop promoting this nonsense of stars on the barrel being a mark of excellence. It's meaningless trinket. It doesn't mean excellence at all. It means the complete opposite, actually. It means you're a total selfish prick. That's what it means. It couldn't care less about what game mode it is. Couldn't care less about what's happening to your teammates. You just go to your camping freaking spot and you sit there the entire time and wait for somebody to do enough to win the game for you so you can mop up at the end. Either way, these these guys rely on mopping up. Whether it's a mop up at the end and a victory, where other guys have gone out and done the hard grunt work at the beginning, or they mop up at the end a little bit before they get eliminated themselves because they're the last guys left. They're hiding in the back the whole time, working on their marks of excellence. So, on a personal note, I would like guys in the new year, if you're on my team, to please read what the game mode is. Please take note of the screen and read what game mode you're in. Now, if a guy's working on his marks of excellence, or just selfish, couldn't care less about teammates or team or winning, it doesn't do those things. He doesn't know what it takes to win an encounter battle. He doesn't care. Another example, unfortunately, I erased it, of guys who finished top 3 in a loss. And it wasn't an encounter battle, it was a capture battle, where we were the team who were to either eliminate all the enemies or to capture a base. And of course, the enemy team's job was to guard that base, protect that base. And unfortunately, I erased it, but it was also a very good example of guys who just go into their spots and they parked, and they never moved from those spots. This hero here finally, drowns. He got involved in the game too late. He realized, the time to realize that you have to take some action is not at the end of a fight. It should be obvious, but it's not. The guys who play these games, they somehow think that they're gonna, this would be like a sports team. It didn't really start playing until, the last half of the final quarter. Which is fine if the opposite team is also been sleeping throughout the game. But if the opposing team has been aware and trying to do what was necessary for them to win the game, while you've been off hiding and sleeping and laying on the bench somewhere, you're not going to pull the game out at the end. It's going to be too far gone. So just simple analogies like this. Read what game mode it is. Know what you have to do. You're not going to capture a base if you just put it in park somewhere. It doesn't work. These guys here, this guy, he moved up now to try and support that the guy in the low who was still alive. Who was trying to support that guy in the tank destroyer. But, in other words, these guys are he's trying to pull out a win here, but he's getting no help. The other guys are non-existent. And if you get these kind of teams more often than not, of course you're going to have a losing record. I don't get to pick my teammates. Wargaming does that to me. So, one of the proposed changes I'd like to see is for 2025. If you're gonna purport this game, try and sell this game as being a team game, then don't reward selfish behavior. Right? Make so what the guy's working on stars on his barrel, and you can't even see the guy until the very end of the game. He doesn't do anything till the very end of the game. When he's the only one left, then he racks up some damage. And if it furthers his progression, he's happy. Well, I wouldn't be happy with that, but you know, everybody tells them that that's the mark of a good player in this game, so they're more than happy. They're happier than shit in this game. You know, I progressed to get my next star on the gun barrel. Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. And it's, you know, it's... Wargaming pushes this nonsense. The CCs push this absolute garbage nonsense. And has nothing to do with skill or excellence. It means you're a selfish prick. That's what it means. That's all it means. I hardly ever see a guy with 3 stars on his gun barrel and be impressed with the way he played the game. I can count the number, 60,000 games I have. I can count the number, you know, that stick with you. Maybe on one hand. Oh, that guy did an excellent job. I have videos on this, actually. I talk about this more in depth. But, you know, don't promote the selfish camping gameplay. Don't promote that. Because it's ruining the gameplay. I mean, it's even worse in World of Warships. World of Warships is, my God, it's unplayable. It's so full of this camping, hiding behind an island BS until the very end of the game, where they try and do something, capitalize on what other guys have done throughout the match in a victory or in a defeat. You know, just damaging vehicles or ships at the end, and they're happier than heck with that. Finally, this Canadian guy put everybody out of their misery here. Everybody. What's the point in your light tank is sitting in your own end zone for the entire game? Just unbelievable how I get put with teammates like this all the time. And there's 4 of them who did nothing on it. No. They did absolutely nothing to contribute to a victory. But according to the stats. Anyway, guys, appreciate it. I hope you have a very blessed and prosperous new year. Thanks for listening to the rant. Part 2 coming up. Thank you.
You stupid, you ignorant, or you just plain old